we're gonna knock off some of this rust here. We did Uber about a decade ago, and then trying to incorporate FSD into this whole scenario, it is not easy. But it's better than having to drive most of it. But there's still some of these last 100 feet and Uber app discombobulation type things going on. It's hard to explain, not that difficult, just slightly annoying, honestly. And if we're gonna be out here trying to see if this thing is viable as a robotaxi, it's good to know some of these things that are happening. Parking lot shenanigans for one, and you know, just little things. Right now, the biggest thing that I've noticed as a critical disengagement is it's treating intersection left only lanes like they all have yield lights. So it could be red and it'll want to plow through that red left turn only at the intersection. That's the only critical disengagement I've seen in quite some time. Right now it's 4 o'clock. This might be our last ride. We'll see how it goes. Might do a couple, who knows, like that's the thing is, this is mildly addictive, right? One ride after another, and Uber's done an excellent job at gamification of the app, so I could see how it could be mildly addictive. But we still got responsibilities back at the house. You know, my co-pilot isn't with us, and you know, we don't want him to be alone all the time. But we are going to get out here and try to make some of this easy money as our AI student driver navigates to various different regions of Houston that I would never otherwise. This is a grand opportunity to actually see what a robo-taxi needs to be able to do outside of, say, downtown of any city limits. A lot of this, I think, will be, you know, because I think rider number 2, he was in his apartment. I don't think Tesla's ever going to go inside apartment complexes. That doesn't make any sense for them to do that. They don't have the gate codes. They're not going to be able to access certain areas. You know, you're going to have to meet them at a designated destination, right? So, little things. I think Tesla's team is going to be able to iron out the kinks, but it's good to experience it firsthand, honestly. Rider number 4, I guess technically number 3, the lady in the share ride, she definitely wanted to not like the Tesla. She's like, I don't like Elon Musk, and you know, I'm a Democrat, I get it, but it's hard to deny it once you're in the vehicle, you know. And she was behind me, kind of cramped up. Should have got her in the front seat, but you know, it is what it is. Still, she couldn't argue that the car was pretty amazing, and it drives itself. So we'll see how public opinion starts to shift. I don't think it'll matter too much if you like Elon or not. The technology is amazing, and if you're gonna find yourself in one, whether you like them or not. Brand new Model Y. Morgan?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, boss?
Good guess. Good guess.
I think Xfinity's been pushed because their coverage out here is kind of sparse. But these fiber optic cables are laying cable everywhere now.
We just had Easy came in here. And
It'll motivate. It'll motivate.
Yeah. They hit one of my main breaker lines.
Oh wow.
Like, oh, we don't know how that could have happened.
No,
Well, could it be the Easy wire that's wrapped around it? The broken wire that, like, I've never seen that happen.
Insane.
Yeah. How courteous is this, like, car to other? I mean, if you're first, is it going to be like, all right, we're first?
Yeah, it does count. I mean, I've been doing this for about 2 years supervising.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago was dog crap. It was terrible.
Oh, really?
But now it seems extremely courteous. Like, it behaves some of the road rules that I'd be like, oh, that is nice, right? It's something I wouldn't have normally done, like stopping, like if you're stopped and there's like an intersection there, it'll stop and make sure that cars have access.
Would it have been, say up here when we're going right and it's, you know, like a red light and you're going straight through a red light in the right lane, is it smart enough to get in that left lane to let flow of traffic?
Not just yet. It is one of my big complaints, especially around that Buc-ee's over there.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 lanes and each one has their own way.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll stay in that right lane because it knows it can go straight through
So
there.
is this like a pilot?
Yeah, it's a beta form.
Yeah.
In Austin, they're gonna launch their service with nobody in the car. Like, I'm supervising it.
Yeah.
In Austin, there'll be 10, maybe 15 cars where it's no one supervising. And the promise has been that eventually we'll be able to take our private cars and throw them on the fleet. And I've only started doing this today because I kind of want to get an idea. Uber is supposed to let me use the navigation of the Tesla.
Yeah.
That ain't happening so far. And but I just want to, because I normally don't come out here. Me personally, my own drives, amazing. Like, I never really have to touch the wheel unless I get to my destination. And I think Tesla's gonna fix some of that stuff up. So still some kinks to work out, but from 2 years ago, this thing was just a science project that was kind of cool. Now it's a better driver than me. My wife prefers it when this thing is active and I'm not.
Really?
So, but it's come a long way. So I figured I'd give it some real world testing, how it performs, and a lot of people just like the way it drives. It's on chill mode. It's got 3 settings: chill, standard, and hurry. But we typically stay in chill. It does exactly what it's supposed to do.
Now you are a real person, right?
I do not work for Tesla. I have applied, but I'm retired military.
Yeah,
I don't think they want me. They don't want me working there, but
Really?
I would love to. Like, Navy, never again volunteer yourself. I would do it for this company. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
But they do not pay me, no. I am a real person.
They're doing something out here, out west, aren't they, in Brookshire?
Yeah, they're gonna create another Megapack factory, I do
Really?
believe. Yeah.
Is that for cars? Or is
that is for like their battery storage system.
Yeah.
I have 3 Powerwalls connected to my house, so
Yeah.
it'll be building those and these kind of like these utility buffers. Especially when we had the freeze, a lot of municipalities needed something to help buffer the grid, and they have these huge facilities called Megapacks, and they do really, really well. And I was kind of excited when they said they were going to build one down here, which signals to me, it's a bullish signal, just to say the least.
Yeah, sure. I have one. You know, we have the solar panels power my power wall.
Okay. Oh, so you do have a Powerwall. You're familiar?
Yeah. But it's not quite enough to, like,
Yeah.
be so.
In 2020, when they were asking me how many Powerwalls I wanted, I said 1, because I was like, I just wanted, if a hurricane comes in, give me the lights and, you know, things of that nature. But when the freeze happened, it wasn't enough to keep the AC. Yeah. And the wife was like, I'm so glad we got lights. And I was like, we need 2 more. And they came out. Yeah.
And of course, all the substations, when they all these towers over here, whenever they run out of gas, you know, the backups, the generators, and then they run out. That's what really sucks. The 12 hours after the storm.
Mm-hmm.
You can't talk to anybody. You can't get any updates. You just kind of hope.
Civilization's gone.
Yeah. And that is our tower right there from where my house was.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. That is our.
It's overloaded.
That one, it's just too far, right?
Right.
I mean, that's
and there's just so much coming.
Unless that's
forward.
not far. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I would agree with you though. Like it's probably handling as more and more people flock out here. It's just a larger load. You know what I mean? It's not going to get better unless they.
I know you go to some other countries though, and they stick them everywhere. They're on anything that's tall.
Yeah.
They keep building neighborhoods. And there's an HEB being built right there. And Peterson's got this whole thing coming up with all the Target, Academy, Costco, or Sam's. So it'll go right through the water, huh?
It will. It'll make a judgment call. I've seen it where it navigates around the water, but I'm kind of shocked that it went right through there. It must have. It's making judgment calls that I'm not an engineer.
Yeah.
I don't know it, but it makes judgment calls depending on the trajectory, as you can see what it's predicting these things to do, and it has some depth. Like it avoids potholes a little bit, and when it's raining real bad, I've seen it just navigate itself around large puddles.
And it prefers to be in the right lane?
As long as we're on chill mode. I can put this in hurry and it'll jump over to the left lane.
Really?
But I want to keep it tame, but if I put it on hurry, it'll go like 10 miles over the speed limit too.
Oh my God.
So they've done some work, and I prefer standard, but when I got riders, I try to minimize the lane changes and keep it chill, because they freak out. Like I've had 5 people in here today, and the med student, she kind of leaned and she's like, "You're not driving," and I was like, no I am not. And so I don't want to give them the full Monty of what this thing can do. But it's a lifesaver. Recognizes emergency vehicles, school zones. I've been really impressed with school zones lately. That was one of the big things, I'd say about 6 months ago. It's school zone recognition.
So cool. I mean, all you gotta do is, the more information it has, it's hard to label everything. I always wonder who makes the little slits in the road, you know?
They were labeling everything prior, this ChatGPT boom and NVIDIA. They were labeling everything, then they just went all neural nets, and they're just showing this thing video now. And it's picking up how to be a better driver.
What'd you do in the Navy?
I was a yeoman, submarines.
Yeah.
So basically I was a personnel guy, a postal guy, a legal man, did a little bit of everything.
My nephew just got off something. He was out in the sub. He was a cook.
The CSs and the yeomans, I think they're still called CSs. Who knows what they've changed it to? But those guys, you always wanted to be their friend, and you could feel it.
Yeah.
Person handling your pay and your food, you be extra nice to those guys.
Sure. I think he was on the Alexander. You got 150 of them, right?
I don't know exactly how many they've got now. When I was there, it was.
They don't like to advertise it, right?
No. And I was on a fast attack submarine, so they're really decommissioning those at a quick clip. Alexandria sounds like a sea wolf, actually. I'm not sure.
That's what I want to say.
Yeah. But the BNs, those are the Cadillacs. Everybody wanted to get on a BN because of the consistent schedule. Man, I don't think I can take that. Gotta get my dog here in a second. That looked nice. But
I don't think he was one of those guys, like, you'd be a guy that's fascinated by it, and like, you could pick someone's brain like that. He was just one of those kind of a motorcycle dude, like just the street bikes. He didn't really care much about, like, except when he was off the ship with his buddies and stuff. But I got all these questions and stuff, and he just, I don't know.
we're non-technical, right? We know what we have to keep the ship from going down.
Yes.
But it wasn't, you know, I manned the radar, the sonar, and I'm sure as a CS he really didn't have to do any of that. Right? He could if he was trying to climb the ladder, be chief of the watch.
Specialist.
There you go. CS.
Yes.
But I have a base knowledge of most things on the ship, but since it's not my bag.
Are they all nuclear?
All the ships now are nuclear, yes. Yeah.
And that just propulsion. Just
nuclear propulsion.
Self-generating, where you can stay out forever, right? You know.
The only limiting factor is food, and you can make your own water, so.
Oh, they make their own water. I guess they're gonna reverse osmosis.
Electrolysis.
Cool.
No, it was an interesting experience, and no matter what rating you had, there was a sense of camaraderie that even the nuclear technicians in the bag, to the machinist mates, to the non-techs like the supply.
It was all men?
Yeah. Not anymore.
No.
It was when I was in, but it's not anymore. It would be interesting to see that dynamic, honestly.
I got accepted to the Air Force Academy, and they wanted me to go another year of high school.
Really?
Well, they're redshirting. I was a football. I was a wide receiver, and their red shirt was not like A&M's red shirt. We just go for a year and just don't play.
Right.
Theirs is I had to go to like a prep school. And as an 18-year-old kid, I just wasn't. I was like, I kind of thought I was like done. You know, I was like, not another year of high school. Which, in retrospect, it was. If I just had better perspective on it, I would have done that. But always kind of something I regretted not doing. And Colorado Springs was nice.
Yeah.
And plus, back early 90s, it was more. It's like, try to get out of it. You don't want to get into the military. You remember that? It was kind of like, I was like,
See, I got in 2000 and freaking 2.
well, you're right after.
Right. The 9/11 is kind of, so it was I had a girlfriend at the time. I was going to do Marines, and she was like, "Not them."
Dude.
I was like, "Okay." And I had a guy from the Navy recruit me pretty good, and my brother is still in the Army. He's an officer in the Army. We went in about the same time, same recruiter. My mom was so mad. But yeah, it wasn't my first option. It was either that or climb the blockbuster corporate ladder. Yeah, I'd probably be doing this full time for real.
Enterprise rental car. Yeah, I mean, too bad this wasn't around back then.
Yeah. So.
Nice. Well, I mean, you've got that. It's done.
Yeah, it's over.
You know, it's not something you'll ever forget. Maybe you stayed in too long, or maybe not long
no,
enough.
I stayed. I didn't stay in long enough, right? I could have done 20, but I met my wife in Japan. I would not be married if I stayed in. I don't know how those guys do it. I really don't.
I'm trying to go to Japan next year.
So wonderful.
Are we too big? Are we too big for Japan?
If I can go, you can go.
Yeah.
That's for sure, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna notice the size difference, but I would never say you're too big, for sure. You'll actually kind of enjoy it because you'll be looked at a lot. So the attention.
My business partner's 7 foot tall, and every time we go in their room, it's like,
is it the attention?
oh my god.
Yeah, maybe not like that. I had a buddy who was on submarines. He was 7 feet tall.
Oh,
I don't know, like, why did you do that? Like, we all asked him, and he's like, I'm fine. He just used to just hunching over. But yeah, he got all the attention while we were in Japan. Yeah, just big for no reason. Should have been an NBA.
Now it's back problems. You know, the poor guys.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine.
When's the last time you seen like a 90-year-old 7 foot tall guy?
Yeah.
I mean, Bill Russell's getting up there.
But
Julius Erving's still alive, right?
Yeah, but these guys had wonderful lives.
Yeah.
Hopefully didn't destroy their, youth with, drugs, women, and you know what I mean?
Sure.
the fact that they're still
I'm sure
alive.
Kareem wouldn't do that.
No, Kareem he had his woman. He was on a different note than say Shaq. I'm surprised Shaq's still alive, honestly.
Yeah. He just seems like such a good-natured guy.
Yeah, he's a wonderful. That's a wonderful being. But you know, his life had to have been exciting.
San Antonio.
Yeah. So.
I wonder if Cole High School's still around. Man. Maybe he's an Army guy, right? His dad.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I'd have to double check. But yeah, you're gonna be fine in Japan. You're gonna enjoy everything, and you're not too big to ride any rides. Let's put it that way.
I teach geography. What? I should say I taught geography in Singer Ranch.
Okay.
High school up here. I don't anymore. I took some time off from I'm a financial advisor. And I'm waiting for a partner to retire because it just wasn't kind of enough to go around, right? So they're like, go do something until he retires. He just retired, so I gotta go back. But it was fun, and I did like to use a lot of my travels. You know, these kids don't know. You go to Singer Ranch High School, you're probably gonna be traveling around Europe and stuff like that. At least understand what the religion is. You know,
have some modicum of history in your back pocket.
Why those borders are the way they are? Why?
It's not just because somebody liked the cool pictures. Tell me where I'm headed.
So you're gonna go around the corner,
like this
where
way?
these guys came from.
Right.
So it's so easily understands you to where you touch the wheel and you're back in control.
Oh yeah, like it wouldn't take much. Me supervising, if there's anything that happened accident-wise, it's all my fault because I have absolute control if necessary.
Yeah. Well, I thought I think having you there makes me feel a lot better. But I don't know. See, just over the.
No, this is the part where it struggles. It wouldn't. I wouldn't trust it to get you.
But it does kind of. It looks like it's postulating that each one of those cars could back up at any time.
Exactly.
Huh.
All right, this good right here?
Yeah, man. Man, I really enjoyed that. I appreciate you.
Just in case you do decide to get a Tesla, that's just the referral link. Get the rewards.
Well, I already have the wall, right?
Oh,
that's not
you might actually have your own referral code now that I think about it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, maybe so. Will you roll this back up?
No, I got you.